Call toll-free at 1-800.
There, and as you mentioned, that search piles of rubble.
The couch. Call or go online in the.
So what they view as a growing threat.
Zulily.com every day.
But it doesn't mean I agree with it. Back and forth discussion. And let's remember,
this one had a charcoal filter.
W. Bush, federal tax revenue.
The federal government focused on
charge them more like they used to.
Cost you $100. Call.
Are you a Christian author with a book?
Goes forward with a sixth nuke this country. It could have. But moving forward.
I want to feel that they can be happy.
we will find a way.
start clearing up embarrassing
Later on.
Winds, which are 100-mile-an-hour
buildings, and make sure.
Meet the Flynn family.
Always going to be a want, a need.
Going back like, and it's hard.
But nothing changes. Well,
By the press, and I thought it was existing conditions in the bill
Required to cover people with about whether those pools would. Some of word from
His national security team. He had a way.
Just to know this is
Every.
If I let myself fall in.
At least 4 people confirmed. Describe the
Administration for General Flynn. They were aware of other concerns.
Ben, how concerning is this to you?
I think he did great. I think he was the person.
one.
17 Buick Envision.
All that back and forth and all those
And I marked other moment. Hopefully this is needed for something. That's your peers saying. Turkey is not going to.
Try Clear Eyes Pure Relief.
Workforce visibility.
Shop Zulily.com.
Refrigerator, washer, water heater, and
President's words.
The media's.
Yeah, he does a weird kind of side.
After 100 jam-packed days.
But he understands we're not going to just being something very special. Something.
The Punggye test site was probably don't know, but we do know that they
is the bill that you previously had
Already agreed to pay for. So is
New cutting-edge foreign policy.
Ask them to pay for it.
and there are 1,000. Guys, I got to tell you that the AAR
Better, and I think that's part of the response.
given that history shows
First 100 days, and after
up, and then we never have to ask you again.
how he himself would be impacted.
The average family's new.
be certain. Preserve. Go online or call
that hit near Dallas yesterday. The following the storms for us bring us
Parish Hall that was celebrating a graduate. These folks.
Ask your healthcare professional about.
Is crafted to the last detail.
Tomorrow.
What do you think?
Introducing new.
don't really like each other. Turkey.
When there's always other things going.
Have access to the right information. Week 3.
I'm Asia, and
We bring a level of civilization.
Call the number on your screen.
Was not. President Trump.
And put them into a higher.
Is whether there will be enough subsidy. The bill has the support to former spokesman for California.
Better position to take care.
The more conservative members of the House Freedom
And for someone to try to run
I don't want that vote.
Not just
She had top secret clearance and
Can afford? I get multiple offers to compare.
It's not in the room.
You are his biggest.
Stunning to belittle and attack his head and make them the bad. Master. But the
wealthy stand to benefit on
crazy because I mean
East State.
if other treatments haven't worked well, tell your doctor if you have an infection. Both. Because at VisionWorks, when 30 boomers has Hep C, yet
Tonight surrounding one of the most popular.
Joe Biden just wrapped up a speech just behind.
Me and Barack over the last 8.
Let him know that there are at least supporters.
All right, MJ.
let's see why people everywhere.
Trivago makes it easy.
Closed captioning brought to you by.
Was on heroin.
I use crack.
this is CNN.
Official says it's possible.
Global view on how issues or some work
We've had in the recent.
and they see
Civilization.
You just did a listen to that as a black man who lives in Berkeley for things that are shocking. But to me, it's like, learn about it. I've known him since he started doing comedy. I was attacked, but he made fun of the media. He's a comedian. He's not a response dinner. and not get many laughs.
Majority of Republicans to line up behind it. And I think you see the White House addressing that weakness with tax reform, that they're coming out at the beginning of the process.
50 states with different...
Is that President Trump states going to regulate health insurance if it goes to...
Not be on board with the current plan.
Well, I think it's details down to a very minute...
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
do what he has to do, but he understands happy. And I can tell North Korea, I don't think they want whether or not President Xi.
Will Ripley joins me now from Pyongyang.
For the THAAD missile defense system, the thing that often gets lost in all of that noise are the stories of the real people on the Korean Peninsula on both sides who are affected by all of this. I met with a family here in Pyongyang who has a family member who defected to South Korea, and their story is one that anybody to communicate. They moved in here when we asked to speak and by leaving to try to leave and to try to experience.
82nd Airborne says he was.
Infusion and sear with Entyvio. If you're
some brands mix meats and add fillers, but not Johnsonville. Contestant number 1 bids the closest, so he wins a boat. And he says, boat? I want the sausage.
Well, before you book...
Beaches, Turks, and Caicos, where anything is possible because everything is included. Get up to 65% off.
Michael Flynn development this weekend.
The concept of Russia with respect to us is a total phony story.
Meaning the Trump campaign.
Of course it's a total phony story. In fact, I just heard General Flynn,
National Security Advisor, like payments from RT in Russia, the Russian television station, like payments to Turkey, and like payments to the company. Leadership on our committee has sought to quash it. They'd rather look at anything, steroids and baseball, than look at the Trump connections, Trump campaign connections and administration connections with Russia that are very... I haven't heard anything from this White House. 20 million Americans, and rescinding the protection to all Americans in terms of pre-existing conditions. I think that's a very brief comment.
Benefit wealthy Americans like President Trump. Do you see more of your Republican colleagues demanding transparency?
Boy, I hope so. You know that if this were about Obama or Hillary Clinton, my Republican friends would be all over.
I got it.
It's being there with Subaru Impreza sedan and 5-door. A car you can love, no matter what road you're on. The Subaru Impreza, more than a car. Subaru.
On
What is cute? The number one just
back first here from
needed for him to use some of his counterterrorism expertise to talk about the propaganda issues with respect to the Islamic State.
Now,
That's why at BASF, we create chemistry.
Connect with medical teams in near real time.
Stay with me, Mr. Parker.
Saving time when it matters most.
Stay with me, Mrs. Parker.
They'll get it done. We know them. They'll get it.
You know, you're right for the right. What happened? That's what we're trying to do. We are as Americans. We want to make sure.
RP has projected premiums in high-risk pools could cost as much as $25,700 a year. A lot of people. That's
way, especially for the most vulnerable.
Okay. The president was pretty well received by the crowd there in Pennsylvania last night.
10,000 people, and not all of them just from Pennsylvania. They came to Harrisburg to see the President of the United States.
I'm going to the bank to discuss a mortgage.
See, you need a loan, you put on a suit, you go crawling to the bank. This is how.
It's fun and easy to promote your company and build your brand with Custom Ink.
When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Smoothies. It starts dissolving the instant it touches your...
Everybody's a comedian.
Smile.
No matter how well you provide for your family today, if you don't have life insurance, their future may be at risk.
Immigrants coming into the country. I just found it slightly astonishing to see the president reading it up on the stage. But this was true to form. He was not changing from the campaign trail.
What if I told you that boat is...
Are you a Christian author with a book?
Something you'd expect.
Is Mexico? I say that because I love that kind of food.
That's going to do it for me. Thank you.
Specialties from the city of Tlacalula.
Force is undocumented.
Stuff with and well, anyone who looks
to America too, so they just get caught.
brings this world.
Yeah, I'll go for president.